So I heard a question on numberphile, which is vaguely worded as, what is the largest prime number in which you can remove one digit at a time from the prime number, and the result is still prime. So I was very curious about this, and I did some work. The first thing I wrote down was all the available digits. This is what the numbers we can work with, and how the numbers can end, which is important. I realized that the numbers can't end with a non-prime, so I filtered it out there. So the numbers can either end in 0, 2, 3, 5, or 7. I don't know if 0 is prime, but luckily that's not going to matter in just a minute. The next thing I had was I figured out to divide these in two categories, and I put starting numbers. The reason I put starting numbers is because if a number has a 2 in it, for example, 23 is prime, but 32 is not. So it can't end with a 2, but it can start with a 2. That same thing happens with the number 5. 53 is a prime number, 35 is not. So we want to make sure that if we have those numbers in them, if 2 and 5 are going to be present, they have to start, and of course only one of them could be involved. The next numbers I have available are 3 and 7. You'll notice that 0 is not in this because it kind of has the problems that 2 and 5 have. If ever the number ends with 0, let's say we have 503 and we eliminate the 3, we'll have 50, which is therefore divisible by 10. From there, we also can't have a number start with 0 because it's just unavailable. It doesn't make any sense to. So when I combine those things, I also wanted to consider how much of each number I can use, and I realized I can only use one of each number. If it were higher, such as 2, then you would get consecutive numbers, which is divisible by 11. So I can't have 373, which we'll pretend is prime, I don't know, and then eliminate the 7, in which I'd have 33, and that's divisible by 11. The exception, of course, is 11, which is prime, but again, a 1 itself is not a prime number, so that's not relevant. So then I had the highest number possible with those combinations, and it comes out to 573. The problem with that is that 573 is divisible by 3, and in fact if I mix up with 537, it's divisible by 3, and same thing actually if I start with that 2 from earlier as well. If I do 273 or 237, those are all divisible by 3. Therefore, by my estimation, the highest number you can have in which you can remove any random digit and still have the number be prime is 73. Let me know if I made any mistakes, and I'd love to hear your response. Thank you very much.